listening to the best podcast from the USA to the UK on greatdayradio.com.
For this public service announcement, we are focusing on the American Transplant Foundation. Their mission is to save lives by reducing the growing list of women, men, and children who are waiting for a transplant by maximizing living organ donations. Our passion is to ensure that the transplant system is equitable for all. The American Transplant Foundation is the only 501c3 nonprofit in the country that provides 3 tiers of support for living donors, transplant recipients, and their families. They go beyond awareness by providing real help to patients who need it the most. Join the American Transplant Foundation and be part of the community fighting for the lives of those on the transplant wait list. To learn more, visit AmericanTransplantFoundation.org. Welcome to Great Day Radio's Employment Talk podcast. In the quest for affordable living coupled with solid employment opportunities, several cities and regions in the United States stand out. These locations offer balanced living costs, robust job markets, and desirable quality of life. Highlighting these destinations not only provides valuable insights, but also assists in informed decision-making for those considering relocation. For this podcast, we'll explore affordable living options without compromising on job opportunities. I'm your host, DJ Mikey D, along with my co-host, DJ D. Marie.
This is DJ D. Marie. We welcome you to another awesome podcast. Here, we dive into a fascinating topic that's been on the minds of many of our listeners, finding the most affordable place to live in the United States with plenty of employment opportunities.
That's right, DJ D. With the rising cost of living in many urban areas, more people are seeking places that offer a great balance between affordability and job market strength.
So where are we focusing on today, Mikey D?
Our spotlight shines on Huntsville, Alabama. Known for its historical roots and rocket science heritage, it's becoming a magnet for both affordability and opportunity. According to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Huntsville, often dubbed Rocket City for its historical and ongoing association with U.S. space missions, is experiencing significant economic growth. Known for its strong tech and engineering sectors, Huntsville houses important centers like NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and Redstone Arsenal, which consistently drive employment opportunities.
Many might wonder why Huntsville. Well, let's dig into what makes this city so attractive for those seeking a new chapter in a supportive environment.
It's the combination of lower living costs and strong job prospects, especially in tech and engineering sectors, that make Huntsville stand out. The average home price is significantly lower than the national average. In fact, according to Best Places, the cost of living in Huntsville is approximately 10% below the national average, making it an attractive destination for families and professionals alike.
Exactly. And speaking of jobs, Huntsville's local economy is bolstered by tech industries. Major employers include NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and the U.S. Army's Redstone Arsenal. Plus, there's a burgeoning tech startup scene.
For our listeners who might be curious about lifestyle, Huntsville offers a rich blend of cultural amenities, good schools, and plenty of outdoor activities, thanks to its proximity to the Tennessee River and various state parks.
Also, studies show Huntsville has a lower unemployment rate compared to the national average and a supportive network for professionals in tech and research fields. Let's not forget to mention how the cost of living in Huntsville is about 10% below the national average, covering everything from housing to groceries and utilities.
For anyone considering a move, the city's welcoming community and steady growth mean it's a place where people can settle down and thrive. If our listeners want to explore Huntsville further, what do you recommend they do first?
Start by visiting. Take a weekend to explore neighborhoods, talk to locals, and check out job boards or local recruitment agencies. Networking with local professionals can also provide insight into industry trends and opportunities.
Great tips, Sarah. As we wrap up, we encourage our listeners to consider not just the cost of living, but the quality of life and career growth potential when choosing a new place to call home.
Absolutely. Reach out to us with your stories or suggestions on affordable living experiences. Who knows? It might be featured in an upcoming episode. Be sure to visit greatdayradio.com and register to comment on any of our podcast shows. Do so. It will automatically enter you in any of our future contests.
That concludes today's episode of Living Light. Join us next time as we explore another affordable and opportunity-rich location. Until then, keep dreaming and planning your brighter future. Bye for now.
You are listening to the People Station on GreatDayRadio.com.
Hello and welcome to Great Day Radio's Employment Insights, where we delve into the changing landscape of the employment industry. I am DJ Mikey D, along with DJ D. Marie.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of our podcast show, where we discuss employment talk. I am DJ D. Marie. For this episode, we are exploring the impact of the Trump administration's policies on the employment industry. We will be talking to experts, industry insiders, and people affected by these changes.
Under the Trump administration, various policies were enacted that had significant implications for employment sectors. Let us dive deeper into what these changes were and how they shaped the workforce. DJ D, who are we speaking with first?
We have Dr. Gina Marie, an economist from the National Economic Institute. She will help us understand the broader economic implications of these policies. Welcome, Dr. Marie.
Thank you, Mikey and DJ DeMarie. I'm excited to discuss these crucial topics.
Dr. Marie, could you give us an overview of the most impactful Trump administration policies on the employment industry?
Certainly, the administration's tax cuts, deregulation, and immigration policies were significant. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, for instance, was aimed at reducing corporate taxes, which theoretically was supposed to increase job creation. It'd stimulate certain sectors. The overall impact on wage growth and long-term employment was complex.
How did deregulation play into this?
Deregulation aimed to reduce constraints on businesses, which had a mixed impact. Certain industries like energy and manufacturing saw a boost, which did create jobs. However, the long-term sustainability and environmental costs remain a concern.
Thank you, Dr. Marie. Let's go to our next guest, Linda Tran, a HR director at a manufacturing firm in Ohio. Linda, how did these policies affect your industry?
Hello, thank you for the invite to talk about this topic. In manufacturing, the reduced corporate tax rates and deregulatory efforts initially seemed favorable. We noticed a modest uptick in hiring and increased investments in infrastructure. However, competition and trade policies, like tariffs, eventually offset some of those gains, leading to uncertainty and operational costs increases.
That's fascinating, Linda. Given these changes, were there shifts in the skills or qualifications needed from the workforce?
Absolutely. We saw an increased need for technical skills, especially as we adapted to new technologies. Upskilling and reskilling became a crucial focus in our recruitment and training programs.
Thanks for that insight, Linda. Now let's speak with Julia Martinez, a labor rights advocate. Julia, what perspective do you bring regarding the policy impacts?
Thanks for having me. I love your show. Great discussions. Our concern was with workers' rights and wage stagnation. While job numbers might reflect growth, many of those jobs were low-paying or part-time, without substantial benefits. We pushed for policies that would ensure fair wages and healthcare.
Julia, given these challenges, what movements or policies did you advocate for?
Great question. We focused on increasing the minimum wage and enhancing worker protections, especially in less regulated sectors. Our aim was to ensure any economic growth would not just expand jobs, but improve quality of life.
Thank you, Julia. Your insights are invaluable. Before we close, Dr. Gina Marie, do you have any final thoughts on how these policies might shape future administrations?
Absolutely. The Trump administration's tax policies left a distinct imprint on the staffing industry. Reduced corporate tax rates and business-friendly provisions created incentives for companies to hire more extensively, benefiting staffing agencies. However, the quality of employment and broader economic uncertainties posed ongoing challenges. It's critical for future administrations to balance promoting growth with ensuring equity and sustainable practices. Policy impacts are complex and require ongoing adjustments to meet evolving economic realities.
Thank you, Dr. Marie, and a big thanks to all our guests today.
Absolutely. Understanding these nuances helps us appreciate the broader impacts on the workforce.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Employment Insights. Join us next time as we explore more on employment trends and policies.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and share our podcast. Until next time.
We are in the mix with a continuous party mix on greatdayradio.com.